Welcome, guys. Good evening, good evening, good evening. It's good to have you here. Praise, Purple Souls, Oluwadamilare, it's good to have you. Ikechika, good to have you. Your note taker, though. Yes, praise. Thank you for the thumbs up. So we're going to wait a bit just to have more people join in. And then we're going to start off very soon. Thank you so much for joining this evening. All right, I'll be back soon. For joining in. In the next 2 minutes, we are going to kick off. I'm glad to announce that our facilitator is already in-house. So we're ready for you guys. I'm sure you have your notepads for those of us who do not have our note takers here. And then get your laptops ready as well, or something. You use whatever it is you use to get your notes. It's going to be very enlightening and educative. So stay tuned. In 1 minute now, we're going to be starting. While just hold on and enjoy the music. So thank you again, everyone, for joining and for coming in early enough. So a little bit of housekeeping rules. So please, we would love for you to keep your questions towards, they will be responded to by the end of the session. So if you have any questions, please note them down. And for those who might not have joined our WhatsApp community, that's where we put information and announcements and updates. The link will be posted in the chat. Please follow or join that community. That is where you get updates on information and everything happening at Wokkah. So before I go ahead, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Ade. I'm the People Operations Lead here at Wokkah. And facilitating this session this evening is no other than our project manager, Ibukun Orenike. So Ibukun, you have the floor. Go ahead with your session.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Just confirm you can hear me.
Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Okay, let me go ahead and share my screen. Elijah, please allow me to share my screen. Okay. Can you all see my screen? Awesome. Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Thank you. Okay. Again, just like Adi mentioned, thank you, Adi. Thank you. just like she mentioned, my name is Wokkah AI 9K, and it's always a joy to share the knowledge, to pass the knowledge across to people. You know, just a brief introduction of myself. My name is Wokkah AI, like she mentioned. I am professionally a project manager, right? And I have been in this remote space for over 5 years now. Yeah, over 5 years now. So I think I know what it takes to be positioned for a remote job. Okay. So just like we all know, the topic for tonight is positioning for remote job opportunities. And maybe I should go ask, how has your Monday been like? How has your day been like? I mean, today's Monday. How has it been like? Let's hear your response on the comment section. Was it? It was a few weeks back on a Sunday. I was asking myself, what does Monday really means? I mean, what does Monday means? Because I was thinking in my head, like, I mean, almost everyone usually mourns about Monday. You're thinking Monday is here again. It feels like we are mourning. Is that why they call it Monday? I mean, so, but no, I realized Monday just means Monday. It doesn't mean a Monday. All right, so let's get into into the topic for today. So today, we're talking about something that touches every single person that is job hunting right now, And I'm sure you all realize that. Someone said I didn't mourn, but it was a good day. Awesome praise. It's good to hear that. It's good to hear that. Okay, so I'm sure you realize that there was a shift at some particular point, in the in the labor market, right? In the job space. We realize that before now, when a job is being posted out there, you have few people competing with you. Most times, these are people in your locality, okay? Those in your city, in your metro area. But right now things have changed. Things have shifted. You cannot apply for jobs globally, and you are no more competing with those in your local area, but those competing with the globe. Okay. And people see this as a challenge, but there is also an opportunity right there. Okay. I like to say that more companies than ever are willing to hire someone they have never met in person before. I mean, this has always been my experience, Uh, so that has opened the doors for opportunities that never existed like 10 years ago, So there are great opportunities right here. So I'm just going to move straight into the agenda for today, right? Okay, so let's talk about the agenda. So number one on my list is the remote hiring landscape. Okay, we'll be looking into why the remote job market feels so much harder right now, and the numbers behind that. Secondly, we'll be talking about the mindset shift. The mindset shift. What's it's actually going on in the remote employer's head when they screen a candidate, a candidate that they can't even observe in person, what is going through their head, right? And thirdly, we'll be talking about rebuilding your resume, your LinkedIn profile, so that they can pass the right message to the right reader, okay? And fourthly, we'll be building visible proof of your skills, talking about building visible proof of your skills. In the remote world, telling isn't enough, telling isn't usually enough, but you have to show proof of what you've done before or what you can do. Okay. And number 5 is we're talking about interviewing remotely. This is one of the beautiful parts for me. I have a lot to share in this aspect, so I'd like to encourage you to stay and finish up this training. Talking about interviewing remotely and the quiet mistakes we make, while in an interview. Okay, so and lastly, we're talking about the 30 days action plan. that you can work with, so that you're not just full with inspiration and ideas, but you have what to work with to get you positioned. Okay, so let's dive deeper now. Okay, so let's start with why this feels harder than it used to be. You know, you see that when a job is being posted online, I'm sure you've experienced that before. You know, a job is being posted online most times on LinkedIn. You know, before you know it, within the next 30 minutes, you see like 200, 300 people applying for the same job. And you are wondering, where is my job going to get into here? You know, is it possible for them to see my application? You know, and then most cases we get discouraged, right? But here's what I want you to look at. Once your application lands in front of a real person, right? Sometimes before it gets to the real person, there are some processes, okay? But when it lands in front of a real person, the average recruiter spends about 7 seconds scanning before they decide whether it's worth looking closer into your application. 7 seconds on average. You know, take for instance, you put a job out there, you know, and then you have more applicants applying for the job. The first thing you want to look at is the you want to scan through the application, you know, and that is what would catch your attention. Number one could be your profile itself, your LinkedIn profile, if it's on LinkedIn, you know, and how you applied for the job. Of course, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of that, you know. But for today, here is the one that matters the most, which is knowing that we might get rejected not because of lack of skill, but because we lack evidence that shows that we can do this or we have done this before. Lack of evidence that shows that we can manage ourselves, right, without supervision. Okay. Now, let's look at the flip side of this posting jobs and having hundreds and thousands of people applying to the job before you even get there. Okay. The flip side is you have more jobs to apply for compared to what it used to be, that you only have to apply for jobs in your area or in your state, in your country. You have more jobs to apply for. You know, that's one of the opportunities that comes with working remotely. So let's talk about what the remote employers are actually screening for. So if hundreds of people are applying for a particular job, right? We said earlier that the recruiter has just 7 seconds to scan through the application. What the employer is looking for is not your job title, not even your years of experience necessarily. Basically, they are looking for evidence, something to show that you have done this before and you can still do this. So these are the skills they look at for most times. Number one is self-management, right? That can you run your own day without someone checking in on you, without someone checking you on you every hour, okay? In an office, a manager can easily walk past and see if you're on your desk or not, and see if you are working or not. But remotely, that can happen. So you need to be able to prove it that you can self-manage, right? You can do things yourself without being monitored. Number two is written communication. Remote work runs on written. You have to keep writing. You have to keep communicating by writing, sometimes in words, you know, by using project updates, documentation, several of that, you know. So the question is, can you update, right? Can you clarify what is going on, where the project is right now, and the plan, okay? Thirdly is the reliability across time zones. Can you meet deadlines and show up, okay? For instance, you are in the West African time zone, but this job opportunity is in the EST. What that means is that when it's 8 a.m. in EST time zone, it is your 1 p.m. afternoon here. Can you meet up with that time zone without dropping the ball? Okay. And the fourth one is the outcome ownership. Outcome ownership. Do you talk about the results you drove or just tasks that you were assigned? This distinction shows up everywhere. For instance, on your resume, on your LinkedIn profile, how you answer your interview questions. Were you able to drive outcome and not just task that was assigned to you? Outcome shows that you can do this and you have done this before. Okay. All right. So we're going to spend the rest of this session training and talking about how to show proof and how to convince the employer that you can do this and you have done it before. Okay. Let's move to the next slide. One of the things I like to encourage people is that when you're writing your resume, I really can't say there's any major difference between a remote job resume or a physical job resume, but I know what it takes to have a remote job resume, okay? Because the first thing your employer sees, in most cases, is your resume, right? So look at this on the screen. On the left side, you see the kind that shows up on almost every resume, saying responsible for managing projects, team player, hard worker, good communication skills. But none of that is false, right? But none of it also proves that you can do this. It also tends to list tools with zero context, and it almost never mentions locations, time zones, or even working hours, or even how that you've done this before and it's easy for you to do. Okay. On the right side, you see the difference. Okay. It says that instead of saying responsible for managing projects, you say led a distributed team across 3 time zones. It means that you've managed, this is referring mostly to a project manager, right? That you manage team across 3 different time zones. In the employer's mind, it says that, okay, yeah, you've really managed a team before, not just in your time zone, not just in your country, but in different countries, in different time zones, which gives them the idea that, yes, you've worked remotely before. Okay. Something like, instead of the vague ownership, you can say, I've shipped X measure by Y results. This shows the measure, shows the results compared to team player or hard worker. Okay. You see something like naming the specific tools that you used and not just listing tools without context, mentioning the tools and what it was used for. It says that, yes, you've used this before. And it also means, and it clarifies that, yes, this and this is what is being used for. I've been on an interview before where they asked someone a question that, oh, you've used this tool before. What are the capabilities of these tools? Trust me, it was a mess. It was a mess. She used ChatGPT to get a list of the tools that a project manager should use, but does not really have even the basic knowledge of what the tools does, which is not encouraging. Okay. So it is important that we reflect the outcome and what we can do and what we've done. Let's move to the 6 slides. I'm trying to rush off so we can get to the main part. Okay. Okay, so we said before a recruiter ever messages you that or to schedule an interview, there is a good chance that they've looked you up already online. Most cases on LinkedIn, right? Sometimes on Instagram to see your lifestyle, but majority of time is on LinkedIn. So this is quietly doing an interview even before you even know it's happening, right? It's okay. Let's just move forward. There's a joke coming to my head right now. Well, we're not going there. So, firstly, we need to be able to give a proper headline for your profile, not just the job title, a proper headline. Take a look at this. You want to apply for a job, and then your timeline says for a designer now, it says senior product designer. Senior product designer. Compare that to saying something like product designer helping remote first SaaS team ship faster. Okay. This tells us that you are marketing yourself, tells us you are proud of what you do, right? Product designer helping remote first SaaS team ship faster compared to senior product designer. Let me drop this in the comment section so you can see what I'm saying correctly. Okay. Okay, we'll take time to type that out. So it's important that we do the headline, we title that correctly. You know, that is what, like I said earlier, when a job is being posted, I'm going to use LinkedIn as a good example, right? Okay. So when a job is being posted, the first thing as a recruiter, what we see is the headline. So imagine the headline says senior product designer, right? That's the same thing almost everybody else will say. But what makes you stand out is when you say product designer helping remote first SaaS team ship faster. It makes you stand out. Okay. It makes you stand out beyond every other applicant. You know, that's when the employer is scrolling through the 7-second standard. Okay. This makes you stand out. Number two is state your remote reality plainly. Your time zone, whether you are open to relocating, and which country you are eligible to work in, right? Sometimes you are not in Nigeria, you are in other countries, but looking for remote opportunities. You know, you need to be able to state the time zone you can work and if you are eligible to work in this time zone. Number three is the feature, you know, for instance, what's the best way to put this? Okay, I'm looking for the right way to put this right now. Let's use a cover letter as example for here. You know, your cover letter tells what you can actually do. It tells, it shows who you are. It's the part of your application that convinces the employer the most because they are reading what you've said. That's when they're able to open your application right now, okay? Before even getting to your CV. This states what you can do, how you can do it, I mean, in a convincing state. Now, the fourth part is being visibly active, okay, on social media. LinkedIn, to say again, you might not need to post daily, okay, but a few thoughtful comments a month, in 2 weeks, will yield something on your profile. For instance, if you are a project manager, you have a LinkedIn profile. Don't let your profile be dormant. Sometimes you see someone post something about project management, reshare it. Sometimes comment. Let there be activity on your profile. It shows how professional you are. Okay. Don't let your profile be dormant. Do something. Once a week, twice a month, do something. You know, even if it's to like a post, a comment, that will go a long way, right? So that you are visible and not just having a dormant profile. Let's go to the seventh slide. Prove over promises, building visible evidence. So if you're going on with nothing today, I want you to go on with this. Anyone can claim they can communicate well, okay? But almost every resume says this. So what separates you from other candidates is that you can actually show it. So number one thing you need to get is a work sample, like a portfolio of what you've done before. If you are a graphics designer, there has to be a portfolio, because sometimes picture speaks better to the employer. Sometimes they don't want to read. The picture grabs their attention and they can see what you've done before, Secondly is it could be a short Loom. Loom, there's a platform called Loom where you can record your screen, and show what you've done. You can have something like that to even convince the employer the more, beyond reading the text, beyond going through your portfolio. It could be any of this. You don't have to have the four of them. It could be any of it, It could also be a public process artifact, like a README file. This applies mostly to developers, okay? Could be a file, that talks about what you've done. Could be a Notion page, something around that, And lastly is testimonials on delivery. If you've done a job before and you've done it well, okay, get a feedback from the person. Just like even your LinkedIn page, there's a part whereby you can get a testimonial from someone you worked with before. Request for a testimonial. Let it be on your page there. Do that intentionally, even if it's from a friend, a colleague at work. Ask them to give you a testimonial. Ask them to give you a feedback, but be sure you be nice to them before they give you a feedback, so they're not giving you a negative feedback, feeling like, yes, this is my time to catch you. Okay, so it's good to get that. Let's move to the next slide. So here are 6 skills that remote employers with the most. 6 skills. Number 1 is async writing. Clear, scannable updates that don't require a follow-up question to understand, meaning you can communicate clearly while writing. Number 2 is self-directed planning, okay? Breaking down your own work into steps without someone assigning each one for you, okay? Without someone assigning each one for you. Number 3 is time zone fluency, scheduling and communicating cleanly across overlapping hours without friction. There is an app called TimeBuddy. Okay, TimeBuddy. What that does is it helps you put your own time zone above or side by side with other time zones. It helps you to know what time applies to you. Sometimes a meeting is scheduled for 8 or 9 a.m. EST. If you're not sure what EST is, you run to your TimeBuddy. It helps you to tell that, okay, this 9 a.m. EST is my 2 p.m. West African time here. So it gets you prepared, okay? The next one is the visible outcome, framing your work. No, I think it's tool fluency, sorry. Tool fluency. Tool fluency talks about how that you can use some tools. You need to be able to show that, yes, you can use these tools. You can use Slack, Notion, Loom, different kinds of tools. You need to show that, yes, you can use these tools that applies to your industry, okay? If you are a software developer, you need to show that you can use some tools, Python, PHP, things like that. You need to show that you can use them. Mention those tools, okay? And then the visible outcome, bias for visible outcome, framing your work in terms of measurable results rather than hours that you've worked, let it show that you have measurable results. I think lastly is proactive trust building. Proactive trust building. Flagging risk early and over communicating rather than going quiet with something off track. It is important that you flag them early. You can see that there is a risk coming ahead. You flag them early and communicate early enough. That's proactiveness. This is a skill that every employer is looking out for. Okay. Now, this next slide would help you balance something. And this talks about career paths. Now, let me explain this to you clearly. For everyone that works remotely or wants to work remotely, even beyond the remote space, right? You need to be able to define where you fall in here. There are two career paths: the administrative and operational, and the technical and creative skills. Okay. One of the questions I ask people is that what skill do you want to sell? You need to know where you fall. If you have this administrative skill, then you fall into this line of project management, virtual assistant, executive assistant, operations coordinator, also maybe you're a lawyer, maybe you are you know what this skills talks about, right? If it's a technical skill, you're talking about a software developer, a UI UX designer, and hands-on skill, okay? Video editor, a graphics designer, quality assurance tester, that falls under the lines of technical skills. So you need to know which of them you fall into. If you don't have anyone yet, because there are some of us that the courses we study in school might not necessarily sell in the remote space. A typical example would be maybe you studied biochemistry, or maybe you studied, I don't know, but there are some skills you study in school that might not apply in the remote space. You need to decide which of these skills you want to acquire. Okay, which of these do you want to start learning? Which of them would you love to learn? Okay, so once you choose this, then you can start diving deep into it, but you need to be able to clarify which of these parts do I fall into. Okay, so let's move to, I think I've talked about this already, so we don't waste much of our time. This just talks about proving your track. Okay, as a technical person, you must have a portfolio like a GitHub, a reel showing what you've done before, a Figma design, stuff like that. If it's an administrative skills, then there must be like maybe like a ClickUp that you worked on before, a screenshot of it. Whatever is sensitive in the screenshots, you blur it out, and then show that yes, you own this ClickUp space, you own these notes, you own this calendar, and stuff like that. This is just to show you how to break that down. So here we have where to actually find remote roles. Okay, where to actually find remote roles. So there are different ways to get remote job opportunities, right? Number one is going on different links, platforms like Upwork, platforms like Fiverr, different platforms. There is a document I was able to come up with, I also added some information I got from a training as well, a remote training. So the documents I will share it with us, but I think it's easier that I don't know if that has been done already. If you search for Wokkah on Instagram right now, Wokkah, WOKKAH, you should save the post of this training. If you comment remote, the document will be sent to your email, right? But I'm going to take us through the document right now so that we see what it entails, right? And if you need a copy of it, just go on the page and comment Wokkah, and it will be shared with you. Let me just share another document right now on the screen. Okay. Confirm you can see my screen. Awesome. Okay. I need to be sure you guys are with me. If you're with me, please give a thumbs up, please. Let me be sure you're with me. I'm not just speaking to myself. Give me a thumbs up if you are with me tonight. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, thank you. So this document talks about, okay, let me just reduce this. Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Okay, so it's a lot on this document. I'm just going to scan through it. Okay. Let me go through this number 2 because it applies to majority of us. So this is website and application testing. If you're a QA tester, like you're a tester, a quality assurance tester, these are the websites for you. You know, the links are there. Just click on the links. It takes you to the website. You know, this is for, like I said, website tester. If you Some of them will require just for you to test some features for them. You know, you go to the website, sometimes it's an application. You go there, test the application and give your feedbacks about the application. Some it's a website, you test the website and give your feedback about the website. So these are the websites. I have just 3 of them here. You can also make research on more of them. So I'm sharing this because I know we all know about Upwork already, you know about Fiverr, and those platforms are oversaturated already. I mean, oversaturated, but these ones are not yet that much saturated yet. Okay, so if you can take opportunity of it, you can visit the website and apply for the jobs. You know, these ones are platforms whereby you can chat and respond as a customer support professional, you know, to get your job. You know, the task is chat support agent, customer support representative, customer success assistant, and administrative assistants. You know, here you can apply for those kind of roles. So for online chat and customer support. You know, number 4 is transcription. You know, if you're good with transcription, these are the websites you can go and apply for jobs. You know, transcription is caption, several of them. You know, number 5 is micro task and data labeling. This are majorly for data tagging, search results evaluation, voice data collection. You know, different options you have there. You know, here is online researchers, askwonder.com. You know, there's respondents.io. This is for virtual assistants. You know, this is for content moderation, community management. Here are the links for that one. We have 2 of them there. Content writing. We have 3 of them there. Textbroker.com, writeraccess.com. You need to go into these websites yourself and study them and know how you can apply for these roles. Okay. And of course, there are other websites here as well to help you upskill, to help you learn more. Even there's canva.com, Fiverr, there's Upwork as well. You know. Okay, so there are more information on this document that I'm going to get there in the course of the presentation. Okay, so I'm going to leave this document right now and go back to the slides. Okay, so like I said, if you need that document, if you need this document, comment remote on the Instagram post and it will be shared to your inbox. Okay, so that talks about different remote job space that you can apply for jobs. The second way to find remote jobs is direct company applications. You know, if you know of any companies that employ remote skills, you can go to their websites and check what was it called again? There is this part of their website that talks about uh about job opportunities and stuff like that. Almost every website has this link. Well, let me try to see if I can get that for you. Just think of the website. There's always a career path. Yes, career paths. There's always a career path on every website. So you can check that up and also apply from there. Okay, and also apply from there. And then number 3, which is the last and final way to find remote job, is through referrals and communities. Referrals and communities. So this is to say that we have a community, Wokkah AI community. If you are not on the community yet, I'd like to encourage you to get in the community. Sometimes we see job opportunities we post there for people to apply. If you are positioned enough, and qualified enough, you will get the job. So we just drop the job opportunities there, and we also do several trainings. Just like we have today, we have several trainings that we do for developers, to upskill in communication, several of them. If you also go on YouTube and search for Wokkah, is it Wokkah podcast now or something? Elijah will draw that in the comment section. We have several of our trainings right there that you can go and watch those trainings to help you also upskill and learn more. Okay, so get on the community. If you're here to join, the WhatsApp link will be shared in the chat section, and join the community as well for opportunities. Okay. Referrals. If you know anyone that works remotely, be their friend. Let them know what you do. Okay. Let them know your skills. Let them know what you do. So in case there's any opportunity, they can refer you. Sometimes people reach out to us. Sometimes people reach out to remote workers and ask them, you have someone that does this and that. Okay. And if they don't know you, they can refer you. But once they know that this is what you do, they will definitely refer you. But after referring you, what determines if you get the job or not is if you're well positioned, right? The things we've talked about earlier, if you're well positioned for it, you will get a job. If you are not likely to get the job. Okay. Now let's talk about tailoring. Tailoring in a minute. Okay, so after going to these links, okay, and you've seen job opportunities that you can apply for, okay, the common mistake that people make is they have a particular cover note somewhere that they use. They just copy and paste to apply for the job. It doesn't work that way. Okay, it doesn't work that way. I'm going to give you a quick advice right now. Talking about mirroring their language, okay? Mirroring their language. If there is any job post out there, copy the job post, right? Copy the job description, right? Paste it on either ChatGPT or Claude, any of your choice, paste it there. And of course, because your own ChatGPT already knows who you are, except your GPT doesn't know who you are, okay? If it does, it knows your skills, it knows your talent, it knows your career path, it knows your journey, then tell ChatGPT to come up with a cover letter, right, for you, for this job post, okay? It's going to do that for you easily. Now, don't just copy that and paste. Read through to be sure you are not over-promising the skills that you don't have, okay? Read through it, make adjustments where necessary. Okay, sometimes you will need to tell ChatGPT to make the cover letter more human. Okay, because sometimes even those who are applying for their job, they have AI that determines if you use AI to generate the cover letter. Okay, so tell it to make it more human. And after doing that, you will now edit yourself, put your own words in there, you know. So what this mirroring their language means is that sometimes there are job applications that are requesting for some things in particular. Sometimes they are saying they want someone that is okay. Let me use a project manager as example now. Sometimes they are going for something specific to say that we want a certified project manager, a PMP holder. Okay. If that's in the description and you've not seen that, the AI will pick that for you. Okay. And if you are not qualified, it can help you rewrite it to show that you have the skills that it takes. Right. Sometimes, let me mention this again. Sometimes when you're applying for a job, okay, before the job gets to the employer, before it gets to the HR at all, it has gone through what we call applicant tracking system. Okay, applicant tracking system. What this does is to filter some words. There are some words in the job application, right, that was posted out there that they are looking for in your cover letter. Okay. Again, a good example as a project manager, sometimes they are asking for someone that knows how to use ClickUp very well. Now, the word ClickUp is a project management tool, right? If as a project manager, you didn't put that ClickUp in your cover letter or ClickUp is not in your resume, okay, you are not likely to get closer to the HR at all. Because sometimes the applicant tracking system is looking for those words. Because as a professional, there are some words you must use. Okay. So you need to be able to mirror their language, mirror the language in the job application. Number two is lead with one match that matters most. Don't try to prove you fit everything. Okay. Pick the single requirements you fit best and open with it. The requirements you fit best and open with. Again, you cannot apply for all the jobs. As a project manager, you cannot apply for all the jobs that comes as a project manager. You need to look for the one that fits you the best, the one you fit the best, and give it your all. Okay? And give it your all. Sometimes you have worked remotely before, but you don't know you worked remotely before. Okay? There are some tasks you've done remotely before, but it doesn't seem like a job experience to you. If you have the right words to put this together, you can actually prove and show that you have done this before remotely. I know the wise will get what I just said. So number three is name the company you've worked with. Don't just say the organization, name the company. Because sometimes as an employer, we check the company out to be sure this company is real. So if you form a company and just say Zoom PLC or Zoom LLC, you work with Zoom LLC, and they search for that on LinkedIn, it's not there. They check on Instagram, it's not there. They check on where else? They search Google and it's not there. It means you have zoomed yourself out of this job opportunity. Okay, as a worker of Zoom LLC. So that's an enlightenment. Just to say that name the company, be specific, so that can build trust easily. And lastly is address remote fits directly. Okay, one line on your time zone, your availability. The past remote experience you've done before. This should show. This should show in your application. So with this, once you have a structure, you have a prompt to always do this. It makes it easier for you. It means that in 5 minutes, you can apply for a job. Okay. With time, the more you do for one job, second job, it makes it easier. Your ChatGPT or your Claude understands you. It's using your memory, not your memory. It's using your chat memory to respond to your request. Okay. So with time, you get easier with that. Now, this is one of the beautiful parts of this presentation. Acing an interview. Okay. Acing an interview you can't have in a person acing an interview. Number one, let's say positioning, let's say the positioning worked well for you, right? How you've positioned yourself, it worked well for you. Now you have landed the interview. Okay. Remote interview have their own rules. And the simple thing carries more weight than they would in person. Simple things carries more weight than they would in person. Number one is fix the basic camera first. Fix the basic camera first. If your camera is not good enough, you might not be able to work in the remote space. Okay. There is something I do. If you have a laptop, it's better, right? It's you are at advantage, okay? And you have a phone with good camera. Now, there is a software called Iron, IRIUN, IRIUN. Someone can type that in the comment section. IRIUN webcam. Okay, it's a software that you install on your system, at the same time install on your mobile phone. So you can put your phone on do not disturb and use your phone as your camera. That gives you a clear camera, right? Thank you, Adi. It gives you a clear camera, a good camera and a good lighting. I know a lot of us will have good phones, the iPhones and the Samsung. You need to make good use of that. It gives you a clear picture, right? So that's number one. Now, number two is the answer structure. Answer with structure. Okay, so this will take me back to the document I shared again earlier. And you honestly don't want to miss this document. You need to go and comment there and get this document. Okay. It talks about how to answer remote job questions. This also applies to on-site question, on-site job, on-site interviews. Okay. Let me share the document again on the screen. Documents, where are you? Where are you? Okay, I'm still trying to. The document is hiding. Maybe if I get thumbs up, the document will pop up. Let your thumbs up pull up the document. I'm still waiting for thumbs up to pull up the document. Thank you. Can you see? Your thumbs up worked. It worked perfectly. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you. Okay, so let's go to the first part of this document. So let's do this. Okay. So I did this. I gave it an acronym remote. Okay. So take for instance, because for every interview, there's a first question. The question is, tell me about yourself. Introduce yourself. Okay. This is typically the first question they ask you. Even if a physical interview or a remote interview, that's the first question they ask you. Okay. Can we access? Yes, you can get access to this. Just go on Instagram and if you look for Wokkah. This training post is there. Comment remote and to be shared with you in your inbox. Okay. So the acronym is remote. So the first thing is when you're being asked, introduce yourself, right? Tell us about your role, who you are, your professionalism. Tell us about that. Let's know what you do. Okay. The next thing you should talk about is your experience. Summarize your experience. Okay, hold on. Okay. All right, fantastic. Let me shift this table a little bit. Okay. Yeah, so tell us about your experience, and your most relevant experience, right? 1 or 2 achievements. Tell us about that. And then the aim is the matching skills. highlight the abilities that matches the job requirement. Highlight that, right? The whole is the online readiness. Mention your remote work habits, your communication style and your tools to show that, yes, you've worked online before and you can still do more online. The T is the tie in. Now explain why your background fits this specific role or company. Explain why your background fits this specific role or company. And the he is enthusiasm. This part, tells us, sorry, something just popped up here. Okay, so this part tells us your genuine interest in the opportunity, right? And I have a typical example right here. I think it might be too small for us to see, but let me try if I can zoom this in. Fantastic. Okay, so it says, so I'm sure when you look at this my response, you'll be able to pick the R, the E, the M, the O, the T, the E. Okay, it says, tell me about yourself. So sure, I'm a certified project manager with experience managing technology projects and working with developers and designers, clients, and other stakeholders. In my current role, now this is talking about your experience. In my current role or your previous role, in my previous role, I help take projects from requirement gathering through planning, development, testing, and delivery. I am particularly good at keeping everyone aligned. This talk about matching skills, okay? I'm particularly good at keeping everyone aligned, making sure priorities are clear and addressing potential issues early. Now, I am comfortable working remotely. This talks about your online readiness, okay? I am comfortable working remotely across different time zones, EST, PST, and I use tools like ClickUp. Now, this is talking about yes, your online readiness and the tools you've used before, okay? Tools like ClickUp, Slack, Zoom, Google Workspace to stay organized and communicate clearly. I am now looking for an opportunity where I can bring this experience to a growing team. This is tying it in right now, okay? Explaining why your background fits these specific roles or company. So it says I'm now looking for opportunities where I can bring this experience to a growing team, take on more responsibilities, and continue developing professionally. That's what made this role especially interesting to me. Now, this is simple. Again, you don't have to cram this in your head. Just know that when you get this first question, the first thing is, who am I? That's the role. Okay, that's the role. I am so. The next thing is E. Okay, my experience. I have done this for the past so years, Now you move to the hem. Now, when you're doing this, you don't have to rush it because this is the only time you have to convince your clients. This is the time you have to sell yourself. Okay. If a man cannot sell himself, I don't know what you can sell. Maybe you can sell kulikuli and akara and gari. What was that thing we were told to start selling again, self? Akara and kulikuli, right? But you must be able to sell yourself. Okay. Yeah, I was able to sell yourself. That's an example. The other example is for as a virtual assistant, this also covers the remote, the R, the role, and I don't want to take much time to be going through these examples. So that's always the first question, right? Introduce yourself. So after that, the next question will be the random questions. Okay, random questions like let's say what's your strength, right? What's your motivation? So this is the second method, and I give it an acronym, PREP. Okay, PREP. PREP. Okay. It's 9 p.m. right now. Can we finish this today? Okay, let me try to rush things up, okay? Just a few minutes more. All right, so the acronym for this is PREP, right? And the first P is point, reason, example, point. Okay, point, reason, example, point. Um, I would have really loved to explain these points better. Okay. Uh, okay. Can we continue this class the next time? Let's continue this class. Let me round up on this particular point, because we still have question and answer. Okay, let me round up on this particular point. Prep method. The first is point, reason, example, and point. So what this talks about is the first question is says, what's your strength? What's your motivation? Now, number one, you give a clear, direct answer because that's what they will hold on to in the first place. Okay. So say, for example, what is your greatest strength? That's the first question. So the first thing you should say is, my greatest strength is proactive communication. Now tell us why that is your greatest strength. That is the reason. Okay. Saying, I believe people work better when they understand what is happening, what is expected of them, and whether anything is blocking progress. Now, you now give an example. For example, in my previous role, I introduced short weekly, blah, 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 blah. Give you an example now. The last statement, you now talk about the point. Now reinforce your point, meaning that I would bring this same communication style to this role to help the team stay aligned. This is now marketing them to show how this strength, this skill would benefit them, right? Again, prep. For the random question, use the acronym PREP. Go straight to the point. My greatest strength is this. Give us your reason, give us an example, and reinforce that strength. Another example for a virtual assistant is, why should we hire you? You should hire me because I am organized, dependable, and able to work with minimal supervision. Now give us the reason. Okay. Once you comment, you get these documents. You're able to go through the documents even before the next training. I do recommend getting the next training date with us. So I think we should open the floor to a few questions right now so that we can finish everything up during the next class. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Ibokon. So let's use our reactions to just appreciate Ibokon. Thank you so much for taking time to take us through. So yes, as he has stated, because we really, I'm sure he was trying to take his time to be able to explain everything just in total. So if you have questions now, you can please, okay, I can see praise. Praise, yes, go ahead with your question. Praise, please unmute yourself. We cannot hear you.
I didn't think they had permission to unmute. I don't know if there's a
Okay.
feature to allow them to unmute here.
All right. I think I've been given that access.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, Praise.
Good evening, Rukun. It was really a wonderful session hearing from you, and I would say that I learned one or two. But I want to say something. Honestly, the remote hiring space in Nigeria today is a lot. Okay, we were asked to do 1,001 things to get ourselves ready for that hiring, get your LinkedIn page done, create a profile, GitHub. Even is worse when it comes to the tech space. Now, maybe other spaces like maybe tutoring and all of that can be a bit easy and comfortable, but I noticed that in the tech space, is quite a hassle. And as much as we go through series of applications, these people decide to pick someone that someone else have spoken to them about and say, yes, I have worked with this person before and this person is good. I feel like they don't pick the fresh ones, like people that they have not had anything. They don't give chance for people that are kind of growing and are coming up or haven't had clients. And maybe I'm just speaking for myself, but I noticed that because I don't only do one thing. I have a degree in education English, so it helps me do a lot. I'm also in tech as a software engineer. So from my research and from everything that has been happening, I noticed that when I'm applying for jobs as a tutor, I actually get to the interview stage. I get to in fact, 2 to 3 steps of these interviews, and I actually get the job. But when it comes to times of tech, a lot of people are there. And at the end of the day, I might pass the first interview, and then they will tell me that they decided to move on with another person. And I don't know, we might apply everything. The fact is that we might apply everything that you have said, and still there is no actual change. It's as bad as that. So,
Okay.
but
Um, okay, sorry, go
yeah,
ahead.
okay. But hopefully, as you have said now, and I also wanted to say that I've gone to the Instagram page and I've commented, and I think the bot replied me, but it hasn't really sent the link. It just replied that it will get to me soon enough. So I don't know if there's a way it can send the link instantly to. I would love that.
Okay, awesome.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Praise. Thanks, Praise. Uh, so for the bot, yes, you will get it. You will get it. I mean, yeah, I'm even glad you're able to get a response. So yes, you will get it. Okay. So now to your question, right, Praise. While you were talking, right, I was checking your LinkedIn page. Okay, and I can tell you for sure that if I am going to want to employ you for anything, I would employ you as a tutor, as an educationist, because that is one thing you are selling the most on your LinkedIn page. Okay. So, and I'm not surprised why that's where you're getting jobs. You're not getting job as a tech person, as a developer. So remember I said something earlier. The first thing we check is your LinkedIn page, is what you are portraying out there. That's what I would check. Like I did just now, and I said that's what I'm going to give you job in. So to answer others, right, based on your question, something must make you stand out. Okay. And that's what, okay, a perfect example. We have also posted as a IT company, we've posted some jobs out there as well, and we've interviewed people. I've interviewed someone that said he is a developer, right? And during interview, he was reading ChatGPT content to us. And it was obvious. Honestly, I was laughing. And I didn't really have to apologize because my mic was not muted. I was just laughing. Now, what is this? What is this? And this kind of person will also complain that I'm not getting jobs. But if you are not well positioned, not skilled enough, you're not likely to get the job. So again, like you said, we need to upskill. We need to learn this skill. If you know this skill and you are outstanding, you will get a job. Trust me, you will get a job. And I know that it's also a very strong competitive space. Yes. So we have to compete for the job. And once you get a job, you get a job already. Okay. But someone said, looking for a job is a job on its own. Okay. So in the first place, freelance for yourself, get the job of looking for a job. And when you get a job, you get a job. That's a good rhymes, right? All right. Any other questions? I didn't know if I answer your questions, though, please. Awesome.
We have Abosede's hand up. Abosede, you can go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question.
All right. Good evening. Please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Thank you very much, Ibukun. Insightful session. My question is for us newbies. You speak about online readiness, as in positioning yourself to show that you have done a remote job before. For someone like me that is just starting out, how do I show online remote job readiness? And then how do I, indicate time zone preference? I think you said something like that in the course of this session for newbies.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for the question. I'm sure this question will also benefit majority of those on the call as well. For newbies, that was why I showed this slide earlier, the slide that talked about knowing where you fall under, which of the skill do you want to sell? What do you want to sell as a newbie? Is it an administrative skill or the technical skill? Okay. You need to make that decision.
All
After making the decision to say, okay, this is what I want to do. Now, you dive deeper to say that, okay, if it's administrative skills, which of these administrative skills do I think I want to learn? Which of them? Let me go back to that slide. I don't know if I... Okay. I can't see it yet, but okay, yes, I have it now. So you need to now dive deeper. Okay, which of these do I want to do? Is it virtual assistant? Is it executive assistant? Once you decide on what you want to do, right, that is not your final decision yet. If it's executive assistant, go on YouTube. YouTube is free. Okay, search on YouTube what it takes to be an executive assistant or any training on that aspect. Okay, watch the video. Take your time to watch it. That will make you make your final decision. Is this something I want to do? Is this something that interests me? If it's not, come back to the second phase, which is, which other one can I do? Project manager, virtual assistant, customer service manager. If project manager, go back to that YouTube again. Search, look for a training, okay? If you now get a training that convinces you that, okay, I want to do this. So now you have made your decision that yes, you want to do project management. That's the final decision, okay? From there, you finish that course on YouTube. When you're done with that training, go for a paid training on Udemy, udemy.com, udemy.com.
I know.
The courses on Udemy are cheaper. Okay, sometimes because you're a first timer, you get it for like maybe 7,000 naira for a full course, sometimes 10,000 naira for a full course. Take those courses. Okay? Finish the course. When you're doing the course, you will learn a lot. Okay, it will open your eyes to more things, right? And it will tell you more if you really want to do this or not. At that point, is either you back out or you continue moving forward. If you want to continue moving forward, okay, you finish the course because the course is usually sometimes long, but it's broken down, right? I would advise don't rush the course. Take your time to finish it, okay? Because time is a revealer of things. As you keep taking the course, you're done with the course. Don't rush out yet, okay? Don't start applying for jobs yet. If not, you will be frustrated. You will be frustrated. Okay, so don't rush out yet. Take the course, right? Try and gather some little experience that you can take. If you can work for someone, what's this right word again? I mean, to work for free. There's a word for it. Volunteer, thank you. Volunteer for a role. That will make you gather experience, even though it's unpaid, right? It will make you gather experience. Now, those experience, you are keeping your portfolio, taking a screenshot, keeping portfolios of what you've done before. Okay. When you have those portfolios, those are things that you can show that you've done this before and you can still do this again. Right. When you're done with that, you can now start preparing your profile, your LinkedIn profile, your whatever profile you have. You can then start preparing your profile so that the world can see that this is who you are, this is the skills you have to sell. Then you can start applying, right? Even while you are applying, you're already thinking, what will make me stand out from other project managers, right? If it's certification, let me get it. Because sometimes certification also applies to on-site jobs, okay? So get certifications while you're applying for jobs. I like to encourage people to, like I said earlier, looking for a job is a job, okay? So sometimes you want to apply for at least 10 jobs a day. It can be stressful, but if you really want it, you can get it, right? If I had finished this training, I was going to say something, okay? But after applying for the jobs, you've done all you can, okay, to get a remote job. The last thing you would want to do, okay, after doing all you can to position yourself, but of course you are still doing more trainings, certifications, and co. After doing that, I am a believer, okay? Whatever you believe in, faith without works is dead, okay? You've done all you can do. Now back it up with whatever prayer you can back it up with, right? Whatever you want to pray, back it up with it. And I can assure you that something will happen, okay? What will happen, I don't know, but something will happen. And like I said as well, once you're positioned for online opportunities, tell people, join communities, tell friends that work remotely, and they know what you are into, and they can refer you when there is an opportunity. Okay.
Okay.
I hope that answers your question then.
Yes, that answers one. So what about the indicating time zone?
Oh yeah, that's usually on your cover letter. When you're applying for a particular job, indicate in the cover letter that yes, you can work for this time zone. You are able to work for their time zone.
Okay. So which time zone is most? Will I say is most? Is easiest to work with?
Depends on you. Depends on you. The most common one is EST, which is the American time zone. That's the most common one, So, but you can depends on you, the one you can work for. Some people they like to work in the midnights. They are they are best at fly at night, so you can choose midnight to.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a check for.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Abosede. Thank you, Bukon, for your responses. So, do we have our time is really fast spent, and would like to draw the curtains tonight. So, please, if you are yet to follow us on Instagram and then join the community. On the community, we're going to be posting the recording of this session, the YouTube recording, so you can watch again in case you have missed something. The link to join the community is in the chat box. I'm going to go ahead and do that again, share that again, so you can go right ahead and join. And also the part 2 of this series is going to be happening on the 3rd of August. That's Monday, 3rd of August. We're going to come back for the concluding part of this session. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time and attention. Thank you to our facilitator, Ibukun. Thank you so much for your time and that detailed explanation of all that is required for us to get a job remotely. So it's a wrap from us here at Wokkah. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.